If you look at it carefully, it's kind of a story about me and Helen growing up. So, moreover, it's got 6 or 7 proposals in it, and each proposal collapses until we get to the end. And so it has quite a bit more in it than simple environmentalism.
And we thought, well, what can we do to help it? And we came to the conclusion that if we could grow a crab up to the time we had a female ready to...
Helen's talking about a gravid female with all the egg mass underneath.
Then we could return these gravid females back to the environment, and then they would...
An enhanced crab population.
They would enhance the crab population, and the eggs would be permitted to grow in their own environment, and there would be crabs again. At the same time that we were studying the crab, there was also this new environment to us, Sri Lanka, and it was a different world. And we were very fortunate to be taken there by the son of the nephew of the first Prime Minister of Sri Lanka when the British left.
Dudley Senanayake was the first Prime Minister that formed modern Sri Lanka. And then Ranil Senanayake was the son of Upali Senanayake, and Upali was sort of the Gandhi of Sri Lanka. He was saving the villages and used the Sri Lankan flag as a symbol mechanism, as a mechanism to teach people.
He would say that a step back into the past is 100 steps into our future. In other words, what they were losing was more important than anything they could gain.
This turned out to be true, particularly for their water system. If you look at the 6th lagoon, you would see that we compare the Sri Lankan water system and the Colorado water system. The Sri Lankan water system beats it hands down, done by Roman engineers and Buddhist priests. From 70 to 72, we did a whole body of work on urban farming. Hog pasture, portable orchards, portable fish farms, and the like. The head of the LA County Museum, Maurice Tuckman, invited me, actually at the time, to do a piece for a show called 11 Los Angeles Artists. It was going to go to show at the Hayward Gallery and then Palais des Beaux-Arts in Brussels and then the Academia in Germany. And so I invented a small fish farm. Catfish, really. Learned how to skin them and all that. There I am doing this fish farm, not with Helen. She was doing research on other works. And it was going to be a small work, like 3 or 4 little children's ponds. And Ed Kienholz, was doing a big work there. He being a well-known, important guy, and me being a newcomer. And he was doing a work called 5 Car Stud, which was a castration scene. With horns and cars and...
5 Car Stud. And the stud, of course, was the hanger.
The museum people there were like scared. They didn't think the British public could handle it. So they said that it weighed too much. It was too expensive to ship. This was a form of censorship, I thought. But anyway, I get this call from Tuckman saying, listen, can you make a big fish farm? And that's how we got that. At that point, Helen invented the fish feast. We did the research, all that stuff. And Ranil Senanayake was a herpetologist. He's a kid herpetologist, an ecologist, working for an aquarium expert there called Graham Cox. And when our catfish didn't live in the tank so well, Graham had to go and go there some more catfish, and we got to know Reneel. And then we said, look, they live in the tank.
And we began to looking for a hardy creature that could live under museum conditions.
So Reneel had his mom go to the marketplace and buy us a bunch of crabs, sent them over here in wet banana leaves, and that's how the lagoon cycle started.
And he said that the crab was the last thing to die when the tidal ponds dried up, and they could move from one pond to another, and so that they were the hardy creature we could study. Well, they were the hardy creature. Wrapped in wet banana leaves with pegs in their claws, packed in a cardboard box, we got 24 of the crabs delivered to us to Scripps Institute of Oceanography, and because you have to get that delivery to.
So I guess we're the first artists ever to get a sea grant,
scientific
grant. We did the science. It's about scale. So we make the second lagoon's about the fish pond, okay, for the crab. And then we scale up and we say, well, we do the third lagoon, and that's about scaling it up and scaling up the experiment. And then we ask a question, well, where could we put an estuarial lagoon in continental America here and see what it looks like? And then if you look at it, the All-American Canal runs right above the Salton Sea, and you could get fresh water from the All-American Canal, mix it with salt water from the Salton Sea, us not realizing it wasn't the right salt water at the time, and you could set up the conditions for an artificial estuarial lagoon scaled up from the estuarial lagoon in the little Pepper Canyon studio. We did it first. And so that's how we got to the Salton Sea.
Did you spend a lot of time there?
Yeah, we went out there, we photographed the place, we checked, did some experimentation, and we located the right site, and we took an aerial flight, and we got the photographs and made the proposal. But by that time we have two characters talking it over, a lagoon maker and a witness, and the lagoon maker's making this mad Salton Sea thing, and the witnesses say, look at the algal bloom, you won't be able to grow the crabs. So the lagoon maker says, well, in that case, let's cut a channel from the Salton Sea to the Gulf of California and flush the Salton Sea. Then we can make a giant fish from under the whole Salton Sea. And then the next piece, the witness, the lagoon, says, oh yeah?
Well, if you can do that, and it will clean up the Salton Sea, but who's going to flush the ocean? Who's going to flush the Gulf?
Our Salton Sea piece looked so seductive, it was being sent up to Jerry Brown's office as an idea for transforming the place. By the time we figured out it was a terrible idea, we did the fifth lagoon, which said, don't do this.